But I'm in Antonito at the start of the New Mexico BDR. Well, technically it's the end of the New Mexico BDR, but it's where I'm starting it. So, same thing for my purposes. All I did back there was top off on gas and have lunch. It is, what, 1 o'clock, 1:30? And yeah, we're at the official start, basically. It was a pretty nice ride coming down here. It wasn't real windy. It got a little chilly. Coldest temp I saw was 46. It's now 64, and I'm 14 miles from the border. There is the Lagunitas campground, which is in about 30 miles. That may end up being where I stay tonight. It's a little bit off of the actual BDR route, but that's alright. So it is April 5th, and I'm back out on the BDRs, obviously. Foot's still a little sore. Shifting up, especially from the sitting position, is not super comfortable. But I can stand up okay and move around and all that stuff, so I'm just gonna try and do this and see how it goes. And then when I get out of here, I will head over to the start of the Arizona BDR, and along the way there's actually a meetup at Sterling Noren's hotel, where Moscow Moto is having a meetup on May 14th. That's the plan for now. We'll see how this goes, I guess. I will cross the Continental Divide Trail several times. I mean, I go through Cuba, I go through Grants, so you know, those are a couple of towns that I went through on the CDT, and then I know that I cross it over by Reserve, where I go by Snow Lake. Okay, so here's my turn. And straight to dirt. Oh god, I hate washboard. This was described on the map as basically rolling hills, so yeah, that should be about right. 4 miles to Colorado, or to New Mexico. I'm in Colorado. Oh, this is really pretty. Already, and we just started. Only you can prevent forest fires. Yeah. So there are 2, I think they might have actually merged into one, but there's fires right down near Las Vegas, New Mexico, where I came through, which should not affect me, because I should be further west from that. I'd like to get out of this, there we go. But I might see the smoke and, you know, some of that stuff from it. I'm going left. Other than that, the next time I gotta worry about fires, unless there's a new one that I don't know about, is down by Rudenijo. But that fire is apparently out now. It's just the question of whether or not I can get through there, basically. Oh, hi dear. How's it going? More deer. Oh dear. Excuse me. Didn't want to scare you, sorry. No, it's right at the fence. I guess that makes sense. Alright, leaving Colorado. Welcome to New Mexico, and I'm going this way. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And I'm going left. Oh, it is. It's the Cumbres Toltec Railroad. That's cool. You know what? While I'm here, let's do this. Alright, well, I don't want to get hit by a train, so we'll get out of here. Cross over. And yeah, I'm not riding real fast. I haven't been really on the bike much at all in a month, so easing back into it. Yeah, I can see why this would be more difficult going the other direction for sure. Oh god, yeah. I am out of practice. Oh, it's loose. I want over here. There we go. Whew. A little bit of water. I just don't want to have to try and cross that. That's my only concern. Hopefully there would be a bridge or something. This is a very pleasant way to end a BDR. That last hill climb is probably a bit of a thing, but I would imagine later in the year it won't be nearly as chunky up and loose. I've already seen more wildlife on this BDR than I saw on the California BDR. Alright, and there's a turn. Okay, so I should have a turn with a bridge. Yeah, definitely no campfires. I can use my stove, but there is no fires. It is too high a risk right now. Oh, hi dear. Excuse me. Just keep spooking you guys. Alright, then my turn off for the campground is up here. The reason I like the idea of staying in the campground is because they will have water. The vault toilet is always nice too, but a water pump is nice. And I'm back to being rusty and out of shape. It'd be nice to kind of ease into it a little bit. Snow. Road's clear though, so I don't care. Not quite 10,000 feet. Of course, the other question is going to be, is that campground open? And oh, there's a little bit of snow still. Alright. A little bit muddy. Oh, 10,035. Alright, so 4 or 5 little snow patches. Oh, antelope. Hi, guys. What are you doing way up here? I would have never expected to see antelope this high up. I mean, you're at 10,000 feet, guys. Alright, I don't want to chase you. Can you turn, please? Alright, fine. You are dumb as hell, but God, you're pretty. How about you turn away from me? Because I'm not chasing you. Oh, not in the ditch, not in the ditch. Oh, God. Alright, nothing saying it's closed. Guess I'm turning around. I'm really not trying to turn this thing into a day. Let's take a look at the lower Lagunitas. And if that's not open either, or at least not if it's blocked by snow also, I will keep going, I guess. Oh yeah, okay. Let's get over here. Up and over. Oh, I did come through here. I just don't remember in reference to what. Because Brazos Ridge is where the CDT crosses the state line. At least this stuff somebody's plowed me a path, basically. I didn't want to go down in the ditch, but so be it. Nope, we ain't doing that. I can smell somebody's campfire too. Yeah, that's muddy. Okay, made it. Alright, so that was 10 miles wasted. So yeah, those campgrounds might be open, but you need a 4x4 vehicle to be able to get to them. Or be willing to blast through some giant friggin' snowbanks. 10,116 was the highest I saw there. And I'm back on the actual route. Yep, lots of trees down. Let's see, 4 o'clock. We'll find a camp spot here in a minute. I'd like to have a water source if possible, but we'll see. That's really beautiful. Oh God. Not suitable for passenger cars, yeah. That's a good heads up. So one thing I did do, which I would say drastically improved the handling of the bike, was I softened the preload front and back. Softening it in the back was the big one, because I think that's why the bike was plowing so bad going in the sand and the gravel, is the preload in the back was quite high. And so my sag right now is probably a little too much, but I do have the correct springs for my weight and everything, so it shouldn't be too bad. It definitely made a big difference. I kind of like having a softer suspension on a bike, and having it the way that it was on before, basically, which was quite high for preload front and rear to get the correct, you know, quote-unquote sag numbers, meant that it handled pretty twitchy. And especially in the sand and stuff, I mean, you saw, like, I could not get the bike to settle, whereas now it seems much more the way that I kind of enjoy having a bike ride. And we'll see when I get into some of the sand and stuff. New Mexico doesn't have a ton of sandy sections. There's apparently one between Cuba and Grants, but Arizona definitely has some sand, especially up around Sunset Crater. So we'll see if it makes a difference. Hopefully it does. Hardest part about these shadows is not hitting the monster rock that you don't see. Might see if I get up to these trees if there's a nice pull-out somewhere in there, because what, 4:30? Yeah, that'd be about right. Oh yeah, my riding endurance is not there right now. I am tired. God, this is pretty. Yeah. Camp for the night. Whew. All right, in camp. First camp of the trip. You could fit several RVs back in here and have room to spare. Don't believe I'm gonna get invaded by cows, because I came across a cattle grate and there's another fence right there, so I am still gonna bear bag my food. And yeah, just kind of working on settling back into the rhythm. Got 60 or so miles today from the start, which is good. I mean, that's fine. Whew, I'm tired. I'm you know, I just had the last month basically where I couldn't really move around, so I'm not in great shape. And that was tiring, especially the snow and the mud. The only technical bit of that would have been that one hill which if you were going south to north, you'd be climbing it, not descending it. And it was just super chunky and loose, so it was just slippery basically. Other than that, all the rest of it was totally fine. The campgrounds don't count because it's not on the actual route. Beautiful campsite, beautiful area. Got to see the Continental Divide Trail briefly. I'm gonna eat, work on downloading footage. Probably not gonna break out the stove today because I still have food from lunch and stuff like that, so I don't need to worry about heating anything up. Just hang out. So, it was a fun day. Morning. It's just after 7. Yeah, like 7:15. I'm up, eating, starting to pack up. Didn't sleep great last night. I slept comfortably once I slept, but I really struggled at getting to sleep. I don't really know why. Didn't get below freezing last night. It did get to probably low 40s, high 30s, something like that. And I was never really cold, so that was good. Just working on packing stuff up and getting ready to head out. The goal would be to get as close to Cuba as I can, or into Cuba, because I know that Cuba has an RV park with tent spots, and that's about 160 miles or something like that. And most of the stuff today should be pretty chill. And I am not doing the expert section, just not gonna risk it, not with my ankle still, you know, not being great. Gonna finish getting packed up and eat, and we'll see you on the trail. Good morning, Jennifer. Alright, no danglies, and we're good to go. That says 48. I thought it was warmer than that. I guess you never know. Just nice and easy start to the day. It's what, 8:30? Did lower my tire pressures just slightly, about 25 front and rear. I would say in 2 weeks, this will probably be fully snow-free, at least on the road part of it. I was really comfortable last night. I just could not fall asleep. I don't know what the issue was. Like, I was laying there, I'm like, I'm really comfortable. Like, I'm, you know, the sleeping mat's soft, I'm not cold. I had my legs propped up, like, I was good. I just was awake. I think I finally fell asleep at around, like, maybe midnight or so. Alright, keeping an eye out for cows and other wildlife, because I'd rather not hit one. Ankle feels pretty good, so that was nice. I was a little stiff this morning when I woke up, but it cleared up almost immediately. It feels pretty good right now. And yeah, just tooling along. This is still technically section 1, section 7, but you know, whatever. It runs all the way to Cuba, which is 148 miles away. That's a hell of a setup, damn. Good for you. What? Oh, I'm in 5th, damn. Thought I was in 4th. Yeah, whatever. I'm doing 35. Between Cuba and Grants, and then Grants south a little ways, are the areas where it cannot be raining for me to be able to get through. Those are the areas where it is fully impassable if the road is wet. It's not even mud, it's just clay. And it's that crap that I got stuck in when I was walking into Cuba. I mean, I couldn't even walk in it. I fell over twice, I think, just trying to walk in it. No, you are not gonna ride a bike through that. Yeah, not quite 60. For riding off-road, it's perfect weather. For riding on the highway, it's a little chilly. We're at what, 8,600 feet? I'll have to see if I get above 10 again. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Oh, I love riding through the forest. My hands are definitely sore. I am not in riding shape right now, but it will come back. It will come back quickly, so I'll figure it out. Nothing too terribly washed out. It's definitely had water going down it, but it ain't bad. Back over here. There we go. Man, coming up this would suck. Yeah, this is definitely pretty messed up. Still rideable, but pretty messed up. Alright, we're gonna get Droney out. Oh, hi, turkey. Where's the rest of you? I didn't want to do that. There we go. It's not the best drone for cinematics. That's just a given. It's more of an action camera, but on a drone. But that's all right. That's what I need. I need to be able to fly the damn thing without worrying about crashing it every 2 seconds. I never would have flown the Mavic back in here. There's too many trees. The Mavic was clear terrain only. Way better cinematically. The camera's way better, you know. You have way more control over the drone. But it's useless for stuff like this. It won't do it. It'll either run into something or lose you. Or both. The only thing you gotta be careful about, especially if you're filming with a group, is the height floor. If you disable the height floor, it can go right down to ground level. The accident avoidance algorithm does not recognize moving objects as something that it needs to avoid. That's just the way it works. And so if you're riding with other people, there is the possibility of it hitting one of your riding partners, because it's not going to recognize it as something that it needs to avoid. So in that case, it's a good idea to put the height floor on so that it doesn't go below 8 feet, and you should be safe. God. More of this, please. Please and thank you. A lot of logging in here. Cleaning out beetle kill. And probably just regular forestry as well. Who knows? good a spot as any. That battery's going on the charger with the other one that I used yesterday. 9:30 and we're doing good. My camel tank is working finally. I had to get another O-ring because the one that I had on there fell off, and so my camel tank wasn't working. It wasn't feeding from the tank into the main tank because of the tank bag was basically burping my main tank and not allowing it to create a vacuum to pull from the camel tank. So, got another O-ring from Corey at Camel ADV. I'm going left, and it's working fine now. So, yay. Oh, that's a big tree. Big trees down in here, damn. And I do have my handsaw with me, but I'm not looking to try and do that. That tree was too big for it anyway. Oh, hello, horse. Hi. You're really pretty. What are you doing back here? I didn't think there was wild horses back in here. But you definitely ain't. You didn't look like you belonged to anybody. You sure didn't want anything to do with me. Alright, well, have a good day. I thought it was a moose initially, but no, that was a very pretty horse. I'll go back up in altitude between Abiquiu and Cuba, but not by a ton. This is definitely the higher part of that. Yeah, I mean, we should be descending all the way into Abiquiu, basically, or until I pop out onto the highway, which I think is where this goes. So, probably have lunch-ish in Abiquiu, ditch some trash, get gas. Might be a little early, but I mean, it's 10 o'clock now. It's 127 miles to Cuba, so it's not that damn far. And I know I have at least 2 sections of highway, or paved road at least, between here and there. Oh, pavement. I didn't think I was going to hit the pavement this early, but okay. Alright, well, I'm not going to record pavement, so we'll kill the cameras and I will get back to you when I'm under it. Just came through Valencitos. It was really pretty. There's nothing there, so yeah, definitely no services. We're 43 miles from Abiquiu. That is the problem with just about any well-traveled dirt road. It starts getting washboarded. And unfortunately, a lot of times when they try and fix it, all they do is pour loose gravel on it. God, everything except for the dead center is just washboarded as hell. Oh God, and even then. So if you don't know what causes washboard, it's basically an interaction on cars between their suspension and either acceleration or braking. So that's why it's almost always on hills or like sharp turns and things where you need to slow down. And it's basically an induced oscillation in the suspension because of braking or accelerating on dirt. And over time, it develops into this. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. Oh God. Ankle feels a lot better. I'm able to shift without it really hurting. It's still stiff, you know, I can still feel it and everything, but it's doing a lot better. We'll say that. Alright, there I got one cow on the wrong side of the road. You're gonna cross, aren't you? You just stay right there, Bessie. crossed, so that's good. Moo cow, don't bother me. Moo cow, don't bother me. Moo cow, don't bother me, or I'll have you as a big nice steak. Yeah, third for off-road is kind of the sweet spot for this bike. It can go real slow, but it can also torque through just about everything. Second's too low and fourth is too high. If I was on a 690, I'd probably be in fourth or fifth for a lot of this. Why KTM did not make a 690 adventure, I will never understand. Put a fairing on it, a bigger tank, and a long ratio gearbox, and you would sell so many of those damn bikes. Oh, I barely saw that in time. All these little trails back here look like a ton of fun. This would be a great place to come on a dirt bike and just roam around for a couple of days. And I'm just sitting because I'm taking it easy. None of this is particularly technical, and I'm not in really good riding shape yet, so it's nice to just take a break and relax for a bit. First stream crossing. Not really, but you know, whatever. I don't mind if it rains. I just don't want to be stuck in some of those clay dirt areas. That's my only wish. Because that would literally be a circumstance of just throw up camp wherever you are and wait for it to be over. So far, all this has just been real fun. Pretty chill, technically, just enjoyable riding and beautiful scenery. Oh, this might be the hardball right here. Yep. Bonk. Alright, well, I'm not going to stop in El Rito. I'm going to continue to Abiquiu for lunch and gas, and I will start recording again if I get back on the dirt. Take it easy. Met a group of 3 guys doing the BDR from south to north. They are from Oklahoma, and they were just coming through. They should finish probably tomorrow, I would guess, because it's a little late in the day to get all the way out of there. But yeah, they were on a KLR, an F800, and an F12 and an R1250 GS. And they were heavy. They were talking about the issues they had with the sand between Grants and Cuba, and then in section 2, I guess there was some pretty bad sand, which I should not have nearly as many problems as they were having, because the only one that was probably close to my weight was the KLR, and I was honestly probably still lighter than him. But yeah, had a good lunch, got gas, hung out in Abiquiu for a little bit, and now it's time to keep on keeping on. But yeah, 77 miles to Cuba. They let me know that the RV place was a little bit full in one area, but there's apparently one across the street that is fine. And if I get there and everything's totally full up or whatever, honestly, I could get a freaking hotel room and just be done with it. Alright, here's dirt. Yeah, surprisingly, 2 of the 3 of those guys had hard luggage. We kind of talked about that a little bit. It's like, yeah, if you're going to be doing any kind of real off-road, soft luggage is the only way to go. Like, you will hurt yourself on hard luggage. They did say that unfortunately the road right by Snow Lake had recently been plowed, and they just threw a bunch of gravel on top of it, so it's like 8 inches of gravel. Oh yeah, okay. That road's up. Oh, I don't know what I bottomed out there, but damn, that's really pretty. All the red rock. Danger when siren. Oh, okay, for flood. Not worried about that right now. But yeah, if you're riding along here and you hear a siren, leave the bike, climb, and climb fast. That's cool. "26 miles of pavement later." So my only issue with that is I know that there are better ways to get from Abiquiu to Cuba, because the Great Divide mountain bike route goes through there, my CDT hard route goes through there, and the Great Divide motorcycle route goes through there. And it's gorgeous. And great riding. And if I get into Cuba early enough, I should be able to find a spot to plug in, and I can get a little bit of editing done. Down to 73, that feels quite nice. What, 8,000 feet? Yeah. I got the black lung pop. Ooh, relax, shake it out a little bit. Oh, I popped my thumb, that felt good. Alright, I'm gonna go right down the middle, guys, if I can. Alright, you're a bull. Just don't run in front of me. Thank you. Oh my god, it popped my jaw. I actually be able to hear that on the camera. Wow. Miles to Tea Kettle Rock. Still don't know what that is. Oh, I would really like to be able to ride the Arizona BDR with other people again. So this Moscow Moto meetup, I have to think somebody is going to be leaving from there and riding the BDR up to Flagstaff for Overland Expo. I kind of wonder if the Moscow Moto people are doing that, in which case I would love to tag along with them, because their Arizona BDR in a couple areas is pretty damn tough. It would just be nice to have somebody with me, especially because of my ankle still being kind of meh. But we'll see. I mean, all I can do is see what people's plans are. This is a nice warm-up to get back into it. Oh, here's Tea Kettle Rock. Okay, I get it now. It looks like a tea kettle. It actually really does look like a tea kettle. It's got the spout and everything. So let's see, 36 miles to Cuba, so it's going to take me another hour and yeah, I'm going to get to Cuba at like 4 o'clock. So that'll give me time to get stuff charged up, do some editing, and then continue on my way tomorrow. Can I get my camel back into my mouth hole? I'm sure that's a wonderful noise for the helmet mic. They must have just graded this too, because there's all kinds of gravel on this. It's really loose. Oh, it's just chill riding too. Would it be fun if it was a little bit more technically difficult? Yeah, but sometimes it's nice to be able to just blast through something at 40 miles an hour and not have to worry about coming up to a ditch or something, you know? 26 miles to town, it's 3 o'clock. Oh, and I'm about to pop out on the highway. But I'd be kind of disappointed if I'm on pavement the entire way into Cuba. Because again, there are way more interesting ways to do this. "15 miles. This is so pretty back here. Tomorrow I drop down kinda into a desert patch for the day, and then when I get near Grants I kinda go back up into the mountains again for just a little bit. Oh, the one nice thing about riding solo is minimal dust. It's one thing that can be really tiring with riding with a bigger group, is you're They're just always dusty. And I'm going straight. And I think this is back onto pavement. Ugh. Clear. Alright. We're right on the road there, buddy. There's where I stayed the first time, which was not great. Don't see any hikers. It would be really early for hikers to already be in Cuba. I mean, it's possible, but it would be really early. Hello from beautiful Cuba. I'm back in the same hotel that I was in and I stayed in when I was here hiking the Continental Divide. The RV parks were full. I'm guessing it has something to do with the Cinco de Mayo weekend or something like that. But yeah, it was busy. It was fun riding today. Got all the footage downloaded. Did a little bit of editing because I got in at like 4 or 5. And I'm just working on charging everything up now. Everything's plugged in, refilled water. I'm gonna pack basically all the way up before I go to sleep. It's like 8:30 or something like that, so it's not real late. But yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'll catch you out there. Second time I've stayed there. The last time was nearly exactly a year ago. I'd have to look to see when exactly I came through Cuba. I want to say it was closer to like the 14th or 15th. But yeah, I mean, it was a nice little stay. It's nothing special, nothing complicated. It just covers all the bases. That's the first CDT hiker I've seen, which he's early. Like, it's the 7th. Granted, the snowpack's not very big, so he might actually be fine. But yeah, I mean, he's early.
A few inches later.
Let's get out of Cuba, and I'll turn the cameras back off pretty quick. Alright, 120 miles to Grants. There should be a fair amount of sand on this bit. We'll see. It is what it is, you know? Alright, Mount Taylor, 99 miles. Grants, 120. So, I'm gonna go quiet on the cameras, and I will catch up with you when I dip into dirt. ABS is off. Zoom you in a little bit more. Let's do the thing. Oh, excuse me, bird. The good news is the forecast is for 0% precipitation, so for the next couple of days. Because this is that crap where if it gets wet, it just turns into snot. As long as I don't get rained on over the next couple of days, I will be fine. I'm going right. And the CDT crosses this road at some point. I'm just not sure exactly where, because you end up hiking up that. And I actually ended up camping fairly close to this road, I believe, because I crossed the road and got, I don't know, maybe another half a mile before it just got to where I couldn't even walk. And I was freezing because it was pouring down rain at that point, and I had to take shelter. Did talk to one CDT hiker. He was on day 30, which is about right. So he started in early April, basically. He was saying he knows there's a big old bubble behind him. I let him know that there really wasn't a whole lot of snow up high, so he's probably going to be just fine. If he was this early last year, he'd be waiting in Chama for a week. I'm hoping I can see where the trail goes across. I mean, it's gonna be in here somewhere. But yeah, let's see. Grants to Cuba was 5 days, I want to say. Something like that. And I'm gonna cover it in one. Obviously not exactly the same route, but I'll be crisscrossing it periodically. If I see any other hikers, I'll stop and see how they're doing. And having been on both sides of it, always stop and talk to them. I mean, it's one thing, it's just nice to talk to somebody, because generally when you're out on the CDT, you're by yourself for a long period of time. And it's nice to just kind of check in with somebody and see if they're okay, you know? They're probably fine, but I know this section right before I got to the highway, the water sources, there was a water cache that was empty, and I was definitely running low on water, so it's always nice to check in and just make sure people are good. You might find somebody that's in legit trouble. It's a lonely hike, but man, it is rewarding. You're out here. When you're doing this, you are out here. But God, it can be fun. The stuff you see, yeah, you hike right along the edge there, so I'm gonna come up over this hill probably and cross the trail. Is that it? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, right there. That was the Continental Divide Trail. Cause yeah, you walk, oh, there's a hiker. But yeah, that person should get into Cuba today, because they've got maybe 7 or 8 miles to the North Highway. I can't remember the name, which highway it is. And then it's just a question of, do they hitch into Cuba or do they walk? If they walk, it's an extra 5 miles or something, which I would say just hitch. The purists always want to talk about, you know, a continuous footpath or whatever, but you figure out real quick on the CDT that honestly, if you're on a damn road, hitch, because it will ruin you, as I found out, because it was that hike up over Cumbres Pass where I spent, you know, 13 miles on the pavement that eventually ended up basically ending my hike. Alright, back on private property for a little while, I guess. Ooh, I think that was a cow. Yeah, here's a little bit of sand. It's not bad at all, though. Yeah, I feel bad for those 3 guys. I mean, granted, they're almost done, so they made it through, obviously, but they were on big, heavy bikes. That 1250 had so much f***ing luggage on it. Good lord. They got through it, obviously, but no thank you. This must have just been a nightmare for them. When you're that heavy, I mean, any sand is just a workout. The bike does not track. All you can do is try and go fast and hope that you can get it to float a little bit. At least that 1250 has a steering damper, so you have that advantage. Yeah, apparently the 1250 guy had a pretty big wreck at one point because he hit some gravel and stuff and it just snatched the handlebars from him. He was pretty sure he broke his foot. See, I mean, there's little bits of sand, but the main advantage is you have a nice wide road and it's relatively straight. So as long as you can get up to speed, just float right over it. It only gets really difficult when you start dealing with sharp curves or narrow trails and sand. So pretty out here. This was one of the prettiest parts of New Mexico on the Continental Divide Trail. Everything was in bloom because it had been super wet that part of the year. All the cactuses had flowers, cacti, whatever. The rocks are all different colors and everything. It was so beautiful. It was really one of the most enjoyable parts of New Mexico, was this stretch between Cuba and Grants. Sage has definitely got my allergies going a little bit. Might have to take a Claritin when I stop for lunch. On the bike, you can really see all the different layers of dirt as you cross into different stratification levels. You know, you go from red rock, you know, sandstone and all that stuff, to black volcanic soil. It's just fascinating to see all the different levels that you hit in fairly short periods of time sometimes, at least on the bike. There is an unfortunate amount of road walking on the CDT. But it's just, I mean, it's the most remote trail of the big three. Like, there's no trails in a lot of places. The only thing you can do is walk on the road. The CDT Coalition's working on developing more trail every year, but it's 3,000 miles. Like, there's only so much you can do after a certain point. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, so pretty. Alright, I'm not gonna sing for you. You don't want to hear that anymore, and I want to do it. Alright, if I'm recalling this correctly, the CDT is directly off to my left, up in these rocks. And it's gonna cross again at a gate down here. Or, yeah, should be. Because I'm going right, and so does the trail, because the trail goes off that way. And there's the marker. That's the CDT. I remember this gate, because you go in from there. We'll see how far I get today. I mean, if I get to Grants and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something, I'm gonna get water and keep going. I know there's a campground. It's technically on the res, but there is a designated campground, and so I might go for that. Like, I'm not in a rush, but at the same time, I'm not trying to go slowly, you know? I'm just trying to ride. So I get there when I get there. I'm guessing any significant sand is gonna be crossing washes, because there was definitely a couple of those. Walking in sand is just exhausting. And at least me personally, I was always worried I was gonna find a damn snake. Never did. Other than that first day when we saw that rattlesnake, you know, I saw a big old gopher snake coming into Grants. But otherwise, yeah, I really didn't see any snakes. Saw a fair bit of other wildlife, but yeah, thankfully snakes weren't really the main thing that I saw. I'm not scared of snakes, but I'm not a fan of poisonous things that can kill me. It all looks pretty different when doing it on foot versus doing it on a bike. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was a gate there. It kind of looked like there was for a second. Still really nice. It's not even 70 yet. It's gonna be 80 something today and the next couple of days, but when I get up by Mount Taylor, it'll be cooler because altitude. There's a little bit of sand. Still not, there's a hard bottom to it, so it's not bad. I do gotta be cognizant of oncoming traffic because I know of at least a couple other groups of motorcyclists that I should see going the other direction at some point. A school bus? What the f is that doing out here? I don't even think I could get over to it because it's on the other side of that ravine. How the hell did they even get that over there? So far, none of this is what I would describe as sand. There's sandy sections, but I mean the longest bit of sand's been shorter than 100 yards, and it had a hard bottom. I consider sand where there's just no real path and you're kind of just having to go through it. I expect, I mean, there's got to be something for them to have it noted on the map for deep sand in areas. They wouldn't mark it that way if there wasn't something. New Mexico is also one of the first BDRs. I want to say it was second or third when they were making them. And it seems like the newer, they've kind of gone more and more difficult as they've created more and more routes. That just seems like what it's kind of done. Northeast is apparently quite difficult in areas. California is obviously very difficult in a few areas. Wyoming is apparently not necessarily super difficult, but it's very remote. Even the sections on here where they say it's quite difficult, I don't know how much that is compared to some of the other areas on the BDRs. And it changes year to year, you know? Tree fall, road washouts, you know, all that's like road construction. I mean, it all changes the calculation of the route. So what can be super difficult one year, if they go through and grade the whole thing, can be like this the next year. You never know. Difficulty ratings for the BDRs are always really challenging, because the other thing is what one person finds difficult, another person finds really enjoyable. You know, I don't mind riding in rocks and baby heads and stuff like that, and other people really struggle with that stuff. Sand on one bike is really easy, and on another bike it's damn near impossible. It just depends on the person. Big rock. Ugh. So yeah, you just got, you know, they do their ratings, they do their routes, and it's the best that they can do. Yeah, there's a good section of sand. That's really what I would consider the first true sand. Yeah, this is all that stuff where if it's wet, you are not riding through it. Like if it started raining on me and I was out here, I would be setting up camp. There is no option. There is no power through it or anything like that. Like, you're not riding in this stuff if it's wet. You will fall, you will probably hurt yourself, and you will not have a good time. It is pretty out here. Wilderness boundary, I guess, something like that. Might get the drone out here for a minute. The houses out here, just middle of nowhere. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. 'Cause I don't have neighbors. Well, that's beautiful. Wow. Hello. And I'm basically 50 miles from Mount Taylor, so that's 9:30 in the morning. I'm gonna get there at like 11. Alright, I should start climbing at any minute here. I believe the Continental Divide Trail is kind of straight ahead of me / off to my right. So I would imagine I'll cross it again at some point here. Oh, it might be this coming in from my left here. That blue trail. Find out real quick. Oh yeah, because over here was that like cattle tank. You like go down and around, and that's where I refilled water. Yeah, here's the trail right here. I can see the marker. Any hikers? I don't see anybody. Yeah, these little posts with the white on the top of them are all the markers for the CDT. So there it is. Again. Yeah, you're just walking along the road for a little while. Can't remember where it dips off. There it is. And you go off that way. So what was funny was when I was planning for this trip, I discovered that there's not really much in terms of up-to-date information on the BDR on YouTube. Like, there's a few videos out there, but most of them either compress the entire route into one video, they're not doing the whole thing, or they're doing some weird combination of it or whatever. Like, there's no recent videos. I think the closest I found was 5 years old of people doing the entire thing. Other than that, I mean, you're like the BDR route overview on YouTube is the closest thing to talk about the entire route, and that's from when they created it, you know, 7 years ago or whatever it was. And so that's minimally useful because they've redirected it a couple of times since they filmed the initial video. So granted, I'm going north to south, so it's not the typical route, but you'll at least get a view of the entire thing when these videos go up. But yeah, I mean, hopefully from a research perspective, my videos are useful if you're looking at doing these routes. You know, that's why I try and do, you know, a video per section roughly, just so you can kind of get an idea. Because otherwise, I mean, you see the route, but it doesn't necessarily show you what it actually is like to try and ride it. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is, other than that initial little section of pavement just to get out of Cuba, you're on dirt just about the entire way. When I get past Mount Taylor, there is a bit where I'm on the road just coming into Grants. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much this kind of stuff the entire time. Back into some of the red rock. That was a little sandy. But I mean, it's a wash. What do you expect? This is really fun riding. There's a few sections here and there that are kind of technical, and a few sections here and there that are a little sandy. But for the most part, yeah, you're just cruising along having fun, you know? Man, it is pretty out here. Definitely having to kind of go the long way around because of the wilderness areas around Mount Taylor. Oh, erosion control, that's smart. They had little barrier things there to try and keep the road from washing out. It's actually really smart. Boop. Haven't seen Mount Taylor yet. I've got to start climbing here before too much longer, because I need to be up there. This is what everybody thinks of when they think of New Mexico, but it's really not. There's a lot of other terrain and beauty in New Mexico. You just gotta get out there and find it. It's a fairly steep oomph. There we go. Oh, that's sandy. Okay. There we go. And over here, yeah, there's some bits for sure. This is like prime flash flood territory. It rains up in the hills, and you know, an hour or two later, you're just gonna have a flood of water. Yeah, I never just hit full send over a cattle guard unless I can see on the other side, because you get ones like that where there's a hard turn on the other end of it. Like, it's not what you want to do. And then going straight. That's really pretty. Oh. Didn't see the actual gate until the last minute. That would have been a game ender right there. I was just thinking, why is my left foot getting hot? Oh yeah, because it's in the sun, and it's just about 80 degrees. That's why my left foot is hot, not my right foot. It is now windy enough that unless I was going the other direction, I would not want to fly the drone. I'm only 15 miles from Mount Taylor based on this. Oh god, yeah, this is gonna be bad. 10 miles of washboard road. I want to say, if those are the antennas right there, that's the taller one of those two is Mount Taylor. I can't remember if Mount Taylor is the highest mountain in New Mexico. I don't think that it is, but it is the highest point on the CDT in New Mexico if you do the alternate. And from the parking lot, it's not a long hike, nor is it a difficult one. I mean, I walked down that side, obviously, but it's really not difficult. It's not far either. It's maybe 1 or 2 miles max. Ooh, it's washed out. I might just get lunch in Grants and then keep going. It's still, yeah, cooled off nicely, 70 degrees. It'll get hot as I descend back into Grants. But Grants is still at a higher elevation than Cuba, so it may be cooler there than Cuba. Oh, that tree's coming down, and it's coming down soon. No, thank you. Good Lord. Oh, and onto the pavement. Alright. 13 miles to Grants.
1 hour later.
Basically, the idea is to just camp wherever I decide to. Fence Lake. It's only 84 miles. But there's no services there, so there's no point in trying to like hang out around there. But 84 is no big deal. Like, I can probably do that. Oh, here's some CET hikers. Good for them. But yeah, got lunch, got water for camp. I just got two 1 liter bottles basically, plus what's in my Camelback, which is about another 3 liters. And we'll see how far I go today. I kind of skirt the edge of the El Malpayas conservation area. It's not a wilderness area on the edge of it, so you can ride right through part of it. And washboard. Not fun. Oh, God. God damn. It's just whipping down this canyon. Up here. Here we go. Okay, enough with the washboard. Oh, this is sandy. Oh, there we go. That's not bad. It's just 2-track. Yeah, I can see the tire marks from the other bikes. Hell yeah, this is awesome. Little flowy 2-track wonderland. I just don't want to find a cow. Up. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, everybody went around the other way. Damn it. I wasn't in second. I was in third. That just burns so much energy. So yeah, if you're doing this, take that route. It's to your left if you're at the bottom of the hill, and it's straight on if you're coming this way. Really, if you were coming downhill, you probably wouldn't have much of a problem. Not being in third, I might have actually made that too. Get up here a little ways and probably take a break. God, yeah, this got really washed out. I'm sweating now. Alright, I meet up with another trail somewhere along here. Pretty close, based on the map. Yep, here it is. But yeah, if anything, that hill climb shows you, sometimes you don't want to just follow the route. The conditions of the route change, and sometimes the workarounds are better. You do want to try and stay on the trails, but something like that, the trail basically has ceased to exist, and so you just gotta do what you can. this wouldn't have been fun to come up at all. I mean, it's doable, but yeah, big bikes would have had fun. God, it is pretty back here. It's on the technical side for what I've seen in New Mexico so far, but it is fun. Yeah, I really can't pick that bike up more than about 5 times before it's just too much. I mean, obviously I'm not in great shape right now, but it's just exhausting. Well, I'm gonna have to do it. Oh, didn't want to dive down in here, but not much of a choice when it's that or hit a tree. Alright, sorry tree. Yeah, here you're starting to see the volcanic stuff. 3rd it is. Oh, some flowers. Yeah, this thing's handling sand way better than with what I had on it for the California BDR. I think adjusting the suspension also made a big difference. The front end is definitely not plowing as badly as it was. It will here and there, but it's very predictable. And as soon as you give it a little bit of gas, it just floats on through. Predictability is key. Like, you know, it can be difficult terrain or something, and it can dance around on you or whatever, but as long as it is predictable, you're fine. It's when you don't know what it's gonna do in a given circumstance that it totally you. And generally speaking, this bike is very predictable. I mean, going up that hill climb, I got sideways as hell. The bike behaved in a way where it did what I kind of expected it to, and so I was able to stay with it until it died, and then there's not that much you can do, you know. And I'm going left, and I'm back on a big road. Yeah, there were a couple of bits in there that were a workout. Oh God. And we're stopping because there's a car there, and we're going because they're turning. And I wasn't actually expecting to go back onto dirt before Little Pine gas station or whatever this is, but I did, so we're gonna do this. And I got 17 miles to Little Pine, whatever that is. Private land, look for cows. Yes, that is always a good idea. Haven't hit a cow yet, don't plan on it. It's gonna be really cool to get down near the Gila River wilderness area and see all that again. Obviously I kind of skirt the edge of it, but it'll still be cool. Oh, that's a lot of gravel. That's a lot of damage. It is so pretty out here. I wish the wind wasn't just howling, but not much I can do about that. This isn't going to be a very interesting video, for which I apologize. But it's still pretty. My horses. You're on my side of the fence too. Oh, you look skinny. Oh, you're wild horses. You are wild. Okay. Okay, I'm 2 miles from this one place, whatever the hell it's called.
A few moments later.
27 miles to Fence Lake, which means I should be there in less than an hour, which would be basically 4:15. I wasn't really expecting to do 200 miles today, but it's going to be pretty close to that. It's just, you know, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me to get to Grants. I'd heard all the horror stories about deep sand and stuff along that route. And then went and did it, and I'm in Grants at noon. Oh, but yeah, I'm just gonna camp somewhere up here. I'm not sure how far I'll get. Basically just making sure that I'm on public land, or at least something that's not fenced off. Bonk, bonk. It's right there. This looks interesting. Let's find out. Oh yeah, definitely. Oops. Lots of rocks. Let's go see what we got. Oh yeah, oh, definitely. Got a fire ring and everything. Ta-da! Alright. 208 miles today. Yeah. It's 6:15. Camp set up. It's very windy, but honestly it was going to be windy no matter what. Because if I followed the road down, I would be down on the floor of the valley. And it would still be windy. So, and I do have my bike acting as a windbreak for my tent, but the views make everything worth it. Yeah, just been hanging out. I actually do have cell phone reception, so I've been posting some stuff. Been drinking water, eating some food. I'll work on downloading footage here in a minute. Today was fun. There were some difficult areas, but for the most part it was pretty much just kind of flowy, fast roads. Just hanging out. I'll eat some more before I go to sleep, and I will catch you in the morning. Good morning. It's just after 7, just getting up and packing up. The good news is the wind died down just after sundown, kind of as I was hoping it would. I have a lot of sand in the tent. A lot of sand in the tent. But I'll shake it out before I get out of here. It's like 87 miles or something to reserve. And then 112 or 20 or something like that to Snow Lake. Probably won't stay at Snow Lake, and I'll figure somewhere else out to stay. I'll get stuff in reserve for camping and go from there. So I'm gonna finish getting packed up, and I'm gonna get out of here. So I'll catch you on the trail. All right. Overall, pretty good campsite. The wind was definitely not great, but hey, whatever. Doing the Jersey today because it's going to be in the 80s. 122 miles to reserve. It's kind of loose back in here, but all right. Please don't get hit by a car. Oh, all right, cool. Ugh, back to the washboard. Let's see, 63 according to the bike. Feels about right. Feels really nice right now. It's supposed to be windy again today, so we'll see how that goes. Good sleep, good campsite. As soon as the sun went down, the wind just died. I mean, it went dead silent, so that was great. Not sure how far I'm gonna get today. I did 208 miles roughly yesterday, and I'm not trying to rush. It was just that was what ended up happening, you know? I set up camp at like 5 p.m. So I'm not hurrying to get through these areas. It's just not that difficult to move. You know, you get on some of these roads and you're doing 45, 50. And then the next big town that I get to after reserve, I want to say, is Truth or Consequences. Oh yeah, here's some sand. And anytime after tomorrow, I would imagine I'll start potentially seeing seeing some of the groups that are going the other direction, because they're starting today. I don't know if they're starting early today, but depending on how far everybody's going in a day, I could see somebody as early as tomorrow. The wind, unfortunately, may pick up quite a bit. Coming out of Snow Lake was when I just had horrendous winds for probably 10 miles. And thankfully the trail dipped back into the trees where I was able to camp. I'm gonna go nice and slow through here. Every reason to expect that there'll be fairly significant winds coming into Snow Lake. Oh, don't chase me, please. Just pass through. I'm trying to go slow so that I'm not being rude. Alright, you're on the road. I would like you to move. Can you move, please? Thank you. So what, 66? Yeah. A little chilly for a jersey, but I know it's going to be warm later, so I'd rather just deal with it at this point. Oh, hi, Antelope. You guys blended. You need to get out of the road there, buddy. There we go. Thank you. Pronghorns. Hi, guys. Oof. They blended in really well. I didn't see them until that one crested the horizon. You know, all of a sudden it clicked in like, oh, there's an animal there. Of course, the day I decide to wear the jersey is going to be the coldest day that I've experienced on this trip so far. Yeah, they are moving. So in super high winds, I'm not sure if yesterday would have gotten high enough to push them past their point, but in really high winds, you'll see them stopped, and they have to feather the blades and basically stop them. And it's because the tips, if it's in high enough winds, the tips can actually start breaking the sound barrier. That's the limitation on how fast they can go. It's the same thing on a helicopter. A helicopter is limited by how fast the blades can turn, because if it turns faster than the sound barrier, you start getting these little shock waves, and it can damage the aircraft. So that's why basically helicopters can't really go much above 300 miles an hour, or their blade tips start going transonic. Stuff like that is why the Osprey works so well, because they can make the vehicle go faster without having the blades move faster. But yeah, so if you ever see like in super high winds or something like that, they have the blades stopped on those suckers, it's because they're trying to make sure they don't break them. If you want to see something really wild, look up a video of a wind turbine failing. It is apocalyptic. They basically, it's like a helicopter crash. They just go to pieces. Now I'm back in the trees. The wind's not nearly as bad. God, this is pretty. 57. I may have to stop and put my coat on here in a minute. Not quite to where I need to put my heated hand grips on, but if I was on the highway, I probably would. Of course, I could also just slow down. He said, slow down. He said, F you, and kicked him in the face with your energy legs. If you don't know what that is, you are not a child of the 80s or 90s. Power thirst. Camping up here wouldn't have been bad, but I would have been rolling into here at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, right as the sun was going down. Please don't run in front of me. Thank you. Oh, hi, dear. You guys are going to go right up that hill, aren't you? Good Lord. Just don't fall, please. One Lane Bridge, my favorite band. I should look that up, see if there actually is a band called the One Lane Bridge. I'm going to regret bitching about being cold when it's, you know, 105 in Arizona or some damn thing. So the Wyoming BDR film premiered on YouTube today or yesterday. I guess yesterday, probably. I went and screened it at one of the ones in Denver and really enjoyed it. One of the things that I liked that they did in this trip that it didn't seem like they had done in some of the other ones was they had a relatively new off-road rider as part of the group. She was an experienced on-road rider, she just hadn't ridden off-road basically other than at the BMW training center where she's an instructor. And so it was a good way to kind of get the perspective of different skill levels, because a lot of the people that are on the BDR trips now, they've been doing this for 10 years, you know, they're experienced off-road riders, and what's difficult for them for a novice rider is really, really difficult or not doable. And so by having a novice off-road rider, who's still a really good rider, go on this trip, you got the perspective of someone who is like, I've never done this kind of stuff before, like I've never really done a water crossing before. I'm nervous because there are a lot of people doing this whose skill levels are in that range and they want to do some of these trips, but they don't know if it's going to be too much, or you know, they don't have the equivalent experience among the group that's being shown in the video to know what it's going to be like. And so I'm really glad that they did that. I hope they continue to do that, to have a guest rider on who's maybe not an expert off-road rider. I'm only 60 miles from reserve, which ironically I could get there on my reserve. Might pull over and take a break for a minute and then put the drone up. God, yeah, this is just hero dirt. That's all this is. I could be going twice this fast if I was trying to push it. It's just beautiful. I wish Bob would come back out. I've talked about this in other things, but Bob is the big orange ball or the sun. So I like seeing Bob, especially when it's cold. There's times where it's nice when Bob goes away, but right now I would kind of like to see him make an appearance. Straight through, excuse me, chipmunk. Saw you sticking your head up through the grate. This would be another place to see elk. Though considering the temperature, they might be down lower than this. Wild turkey. That looks like a tom. I can't see it there. Where'd you go? It was there, I promise. It ran down the hill real fast. Here's pavement. Alright, well, I'm gonna kill the cameras for a bit, and then I'll stop and take a break at some point. Quick little blast up the highway, and into the woods. Oh, this is steep. This is like the beginning of Corkscrew Pass. You're just going straight up the hill. Man, I can't see a damn thing. The shadows are so dark. All the way up to 8,300 feet. In a big damn hurry. I know you can't tell on the video, but this is steep. It's just going straight up the hill. A little close. Every once in a while you look down and you're just like, wow, I'm really big on that view. That thing must be really close to me. Hi, elk. Good lord. Hi. Jesus, just drop straight down the hill, why don't you? That was a juvenile, it looked like. No idea if it was a cow or a bull, because it was young, so it was kind of little. Oh, big tree branches. What are you gonna do? God, handled it perfectly. No hesitation. This is stunning back here. It's just beautiful. Three miles. That was called the Saddle Mountain Lookout, which is probably a fire lookout station. A little bit of sand, just to introduce you to Arizona. It is actually quite sandy. Holy crap. Go up here, flip around. Arizona. Not sticking around though, because no reason to. Get through the sand here. That's funny that the moment you go to cross into Arizona, it's sandy as hell right at the border. Bonk. Ooh, big rocks. Oh, there we go. Wow. Welcome to the mountains of New Mexico. There we go. It's got really ate up. You can tell it's had a fair amount of water down it. Oh, there's a viewpoint for you though. Oh man. Yeah, there's definitely a few bits of this that would be easier going the other direction. But there's also a fair number of these that would be harder. So, it's always a trade-off. I would say that's similar in difficulty to Hagerman Pass in Colorado, though much shorter. Hagerman is fairly long, and there's a lot of it that's like that. You know, it's nice on this kind of stuff to not be in a rush, because if you're in a rush, you make mistakes. You start getting flustered when you're not making good pace. You know, you fall over or something that slows you down even more, and you get even more flustered. And I would say if you're planning for these kinds of trips, take that into account. Like, you don't want to be having to push 200 miles every day. In some areas, that's just not feasible, and it puts an artificial constraint on the ride, which can make it more difficult to complete. Have at least one day of like leeway in your plan, you know, in terms of time off and stuff like that. Like, have at least one day where if you end up not going anywhere, you're still fine. It's gonna happen sometimes, especially on this route. Like, you get caught in a rainstorm, you're not going anywhere, and you have to account for that. You can't sit there and be like, oh, we're off schedule, we've got to rush. I have the advantage of basically not having a schedule. Most people don't have that advantage, and they have to schedule time off for babysitters or whatever. That rock did the full merry-go-round. Ba-dunk, ba-dunk. Boop, boop, ba-doo-doo. Ba-dum, ba-dum. It's just like yesterday. I'm not really planning how far I'm going to go. I'm just riding at the pace that I want to ride at until I don't want to ride anymore and camp up somewhere. So I think I'll get into Truth or Consequences tomorrow. That looks about right. And I might go for someplace that I can get a shower and recharge stuff. Alright, I think this is the hardball, and I'm going left. And then it's 11 miles to reserve, so I'll turn the cameras off here in a second. Alright. Nobody coming? Oh, hey. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good. You doing the BDR?
Kind of, sort of.
Oh, okay.
I came up and did the CDR this morning, and then hit
Oh, okay.
the CDR where it crosses. We came across.
I did the CDT back in 2020.
Oh, nice. Are you doing the BDR?
Yeah.
I've done it a couple times, and I know where it hits Arizona over there. I was going to keep going into Arizona. I've never gone.
Oh,
over
okay.
There. There's a couple little roads off over in there, and then
Yeah. I was laughing because I went over there. I'm like, as soon as you get near the Arizona border, it got sandy as hell.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
They're great bikes, but they're heavy.
Yeah, they're not a lot of fun. And
Yours dry weighs about as much as mine with all my luggage on it.
What is it? Is it a
It's a T7.
Oh, is it really?
It's the little guy version of that.
Oh yeah. I didn't even recognize that.
Yep.
Huh. How you like it?
With the baggage and stuff, it looks like an Africa Twin.
Yeah, it does kind of. Yeah.
I noticed that when I first did it. I was like, huh. Well, take it easy.
All right, man.
Ride safe.
Check out your YouTube channel.
All right.
Have a great one.
Later, in the void.
Welcome to Reserve. Talked to a CDT hiker. Sounds like the bubble is pretty close to Snow Lake. And yeah, we're gonna go see how things are. 164 miles to Truth or Consequences. Obviously not gonna get there today. That'd be like almost 300 miles for the day. I ain't doing that. But I got water, and we'll see how far we get. Chloride Canyon, 107 miles. Hell, I might get close to the start of Chloride Canyon. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, I'll plan on going for 3 or 4 hours. See where I end up. I'm glad they put a waypoint on here for Chloride Canyon, because that way I at least have some idea when I'll be getting to that. That's generally considered to be the toughest part of this BDR, but I am going the easier direction for it. There's supposed to be like 7 or 8 little creek crossings in there, but with how dry everything is, I wonder if there's going to be any. And then section 2 is supposed to be the last real deep sand. I have to assume this is going to get somewhat technical because they did an easy alternative. 88 miles from Chloride Canyon. Yeah, definitely some trees down in here. Yeah, I don't think those guys did this part because they would have mentioned it. Because coming down this would not be a ton of fun, especially on heavy bikes. God, these fucking grasshoppers. I'm guessing this is the steep rocky section that the map was talking about. But all right, that was ugly, but it worked. Oh, this is a mess. Poink. At the point now where I don't want to stop, because getting going again would be even more difficult. I just gotta get through it. We're going over here. And I'm gonna take a break. Holy crap. I might just be staying in first for a while. At least until I'm sure I'm through it. Ugh, bugs. There we go. Okay. I'm sure you can't tell, but this isn't just rocky, it's steep as hell. Which is why I'm in first gear, just chugging along. Big step. Oh, there we go. Up here, take another break. Yeah, if you're doing this route, I would take the easy one. This is a mess. Even coming downhill on this would be really difficult. There's no clear lines. This on the KTM would have sucked because it can't crawl like this. First gear would be like being in second gear. More rock crawl city. So yeah, this was not marked on the map as an expert section. The other one was marked as easy alt. I think unless this gets in better shape, the other one needs to be the route, and this needs to be an expert alt, because I would not suggest anybody except for dirt bikes or people really wanting the challenge to go this direction on it. This is harder than going up that bit on the Arizona BDR with the steps near the Grand Canyon. Oh, not that rock. Okay. That was almost bad. And this is way longer than that. Alright, I go up over the top right there. Yeah, so this is section 3. You would be coming downhill most of this. Take the alt. Unless you're on like a 500 dirt bike or something like that. Like, take the alt. I nearly crashed probably 3 times. And I'm not out of it yet. There aren't very many good lines on this. And the wind is not helping. That should be the top. And that's the section that is marked on the map handout as steep, rocky. They ain't f***ing kidding, man. If I had to notate that as anything, I would notate it as gross. You could probably get a big bike down that, but you're gonna need to be a way better rider than me to get a bigger bike up that. I'm hoping the descent is a little more chill. Alright, so it looks like I'm about 3 miles from re-intersecting the main quote-unquote easy route. This reminds me of all that stuff outside of Pie Town, where I managed to shake my accessory light loose on the 690. See, and here's your problem, because if you came up this, you're coming up this thinking, this isn't great, but this ain't so bad. And then you get to the other side, and holy show. Don't get me wrong, it's almost always easier going downhill, because your momentum will carry you through some of your mistakes. And you can kind of see what I mean about going downhill. Your momentum can save your mistakes, because it's going to carry you through the obstacle whether you want to or not. Going uphill, your momentum's entirely based off of your engine management, which if you lose your momentum, you're screwed. I would say this is about as hard as the bit on the Arizona BDR that they redirected because of the fire washouts. That's what this probably reminds me the most of. Now, I didn't make it up that, but I was also on the KTM, and I had already ridden 200 miles of off-road at that point. Something like that. On this bike, I probably would have made it up there to where Gavin was. Also in the dark, so, you know, not as easy. Oh, what is that? Is that 4th gear? Holy crap. It's a Christmas miracle. Oh, hi, elk. I saw 2 at least. Is there more, or is it just the 2? I only see 2. Yep. That wind feels so good right now. I am sweating so hard. Well, it'll make good video if nothing else, but if I had the knowledge of what that was going to be like, I would have taken the alternate. So if you're a better rider than me, or running lighter, you know, maybe a lighter bike or something like that, like, by all means, go for it. This must be the gravel they were talking about. Yeah, it ain't great, but it could be worse. If I stay over here, that's actually a little better. Saw tire marks from a bike there going back and forth. Alright, going right. Okay, so when I hiked out, I went straight. Yeah, so that's the trail right there, going over there. So you walk out and then you go up there. Yeah, 1 mile. I go up to Snow Lake. The lake is low. Yeah, there's smikers. How you guys doing? How was the Gila?
Wonderful.
What's that?
Wonderful.
Good. Was there actually water?
Yeah.
Okay. It's everything else is so dry right now.
Yeah. Yep. Walked all the way from Doc Campbell's all the way to here.
Yeah. Enjoying having your feet dry for the first time in about a week?
About that, yeah.
I hiked through here last year, so yeah. Yeah, I've been seeing you guys periodically. I saw one guy in Grants already. Or actually I saw one in Cuba. I was like, damn dude, you're really early.
We're aiming for San Juan second week of June.
That's about right. The Colorado's still got a fair amount of snow. Like north of Cuba, it's dry. Okay. Like you'll see some snow and water and stuff in the trees, but like everything's pretty much clear. Last year it was pretty snowy. Yeah. You need anything?
All good, thanks.
Okay.
All good.
I figured you'd be good for water at least, but.
Oh yeah, just picking this up there. So. Yeah, all good. On to Pie Town.
Yep, you'll get when you come up over Mangus Mountain. You'll get cell phone reception right there because there's a big AT&T tower right in the middle of town. Oh, nice. And then Davila Ranch is like 13 miles from Pie Town. That's where I am. It's on your right side. Yeah. So there's a sign, but like you can miss it.
You don't want to miss that.
No, it's worth it.
Cool. Well, thanks for the advice, and we'll have to get moving.
Take it easy. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Beaverhead Workstation is what I keep seeing signs for, but I don't know what that is. Oh, God. Whatever road engineer tells these people to fix erosion by putting gravel down, you're a dick. Looks like it's the end of the gravel, at least. That's horrible. Like, you could really wreck somebody. That makes it damn near unrideable for a lot of bikes. See, and this looks like it got graded, even if they haven't laid down gravel. Good Lord, what did they do to this road? See, okay, here's the ungraded road. Yeah, this is in better shape. There's still bits, obviously, but at least everything surrounding the rocks isn't loose. 58 to the start of Chloride. Oh, you know what's funny? That waypoint is probably for the start of Chloride Canyon. So by the time I get to it, I'll actually be through Chloride Canyon. The other thing I gotta see is between Truth and Consequence. So Rodizio, how you say it, had a really big forest fire several weeks ago at this point, and I think it has reopened since then, so I don't have to divert around it, but I'm gonna make sure first. Wide open spaces. Yeah, into Chloride Canyon tomorrow, into Truth or Consequences tomorrow. Oh, pavement. Hello. Oof, oof, oof. I just made the turn onto the Chloride Canyon route. Haven't been able to find a damn spot that I could really use as a campsite up until this. It was ridiculous. There was a ton of little pullouts and stuff, but I mean, I basically would have been camping on the road. And I'm not a huge fan of this. Alright, I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. But I'm gonna get up here a little ways. As soon as I find a decent spot, it doesn't gotta be great, I'll take it. Oh, here we go. Where does it connect out at? Up here, okay. Yep, we're doing this. Oh, face out. Oh God, don't fall over. Okay. Arrive. Of course it's windy. Okay, we are gonna go check out Chloride Canyon. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. This was a decent little campsite. It was windy periodically throughout the night, but it was never especially bad or anything like that. Alright, everything's sealed up. Not forgetting anything. Idiot check. Alright, got my chain lubed and everything, so that was good. 23 miles to Chloride Canyon, supposedly, but I think that's actually just, that might be the exit. get going and see what it's like. And 75 miles to Truth or Consequences. Should be there around lunch-ish. And then it's into section 2, which goes to Rudigio. 52 according to that. I think it got down into probably the low 40s-ish last night. It was something like that. Reason I'm not too terribly worried about Chloride Canyon is coming from this direction is the easier direction. There's one apparently difficult climb that I've seen people struggle with, but I'll be going down it. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not the creek is even running. It's so dry out here right now. Like, normally you would cross the creek 6 or 7 times. None of them are particularly big. They might be dry right now. It's very dry right out here. But tonight we'll probably be staying in a place where I can get a shower and recharge stuff. I'm not sure why it's called Chloride Canyon, to be honest. Going straight, entering private property. So stay on the road and don't ride like a jackass. I'll have to look up a thing later and see why it's called Chloride Canyon. I would guess mineral deposits of some kind, but I mean, hell, who knows? Could have easily been called Fred's Canyon, you know? This is really pretty down here, though. But I mean, oh, what the f***? I'm off the route. Okay. Don't know how I did. I don't even know where the turn was. Oh, wait. Here's my GPS just f***ed up. No, I'm on the route. Okay. Okay, don't do that to me, GPS. It must have been struggling with signal. It thought I was somewhere completely different. I'm like, there wasn't even a trail anywhere. Where the hell did you want me to go? Yeah, the GPS is definitely struggling a bit. It says that it's accurate down to 7 feet or something, but it's definitely wandering a bit compared to the track. More elk. Yep, hi. Hi, ladies. Just saw the 2. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's a bunch of them up here. Okay. Hi. Pardon me. 4 or 5 of them right there. Yeah, you will kind of sneak up on things on a bike. They're not that loud, and you're moving faster than most animals are accustomed to, so they don't have time to move out of the way. When you're on foot, they'll typically hear or smell you before you see them, and so they'll move. So, like, I really didn't see much wildlife out on foot. Oh, more elk. I feel bad when you guys run like that, because I don't want to chase you or scare you. God, they will go right up the hill, though. Jesus. We're gonna go second. Just to get up through here. Interesting combination of steep rocky and a little bit of sandy. Wish I could see just a little better. Yeah, I really can't see. This is really a weird terrain. It's sandy, but rocky. We're going over here. Nobody's come down this in a while. That is a strange combination. Whew. This is really, really pretty. Just stunning little canyon. This can't still be private land, right? I guess I went through that cattle grate back there, so that was probably the delineator. I just didn't see any signs. Yeah, that's a little eaten up. Let's go second, and right up there. And the route managers for this were saying that this is in worse condition than it's been in previous years. So I guess it'll just be, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Whew, that's loose. I want, oh, come on, turn. There we go. We're gonna go first gear. Oh, big rock. I didn't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. There we go. Oh yeah, this is really jacked up. I don't want that, do I? Oh. What I really don't want is to launch myself off the cliff face. Hey, diddle diddle right down the middle. Yeah, this is quite bad. I would think they probably need to mark this, oh, and that bit outside of reserve as experts only. This is pretty messed up. And for most people, they're going north, so they're going up this. You know, I have the advantage of coming down, which, believe me, is a significant advantage sometimes. Once I'm down on the canyon floor, it shouldn't be too bad. Oh yeah, this is all really messed up. I want over here. As long as I don't hit that giant rock. There we go. Oh yeah, this is really messed up. Just need to get turned. Okay, thanks. Bye. Alright. That was the exit to Chloride Canyon. For me being the entrance, it lived up to expectations. There's a little bit of water back here. Excuse me, bird, sorry. Didn't mean to chase you off. I could definitely see people having to turn around and ride back out this because they can't get out that side. That's pretty messed up. Hopefully the camera is able to kind of adequately show. But yeah, that needs to be marked as an experts only section at this point. Like, Chloride Canyon's nice. I wouldn't want to try and take a bike with luggage up that. Could I do it? Maybe. I don't know. I would want friends, for sure. I would not want to be trying to go up that by myself at all. 7 miles, so we're doing good. Oh, hi, Cal. Can you move, please? Thank you. Oh, front wheel tried to kick out on me. Rock probably rolled over. So the reason I'm probably not going to launch the drone is this isn't going to be particularly interesting drone footage. I'm doing 5 miles an hour, and it's technical, it's fun riding, it's just not interesting visually. It's a workout. A lot of loose rock. Thank God it's not 100 degrees. Down in this canyon, you would, I mean, God, you'd just roast. It's currently 60, 66, according to my bike. Even 80s or 90s down here would just be awful because there's no airflow. Yeah, don't ever say the BDRs don't fail to deliver. You want an adventure, you're gonna get an adventure. Yep, there is no water in Chloride Creek, which sucks. Oh, hi dear. Sorry I spooked you. Alright, so my advice for Chloride Canyon. Hopefully they're going to market it as an expert route, because it really should be. But from what I've seen, it basically just gradually gets worse and worse. The hardest, if you're going northbound, the hardest technical challenges for Chloride Canyon come on the exit. So, if you ride down here, and you want to try and do it, if you ever hit the point where you feel like you've exceeded your skills, turn around. That's the point where you need to turn around, because it's only going to get worse. It does not get better. If you want to do Chloride Canyon, by all means, try it. But if you're coming up here and going, oh God, I hope it doesn't get any harder, it does. The hardest part of Chloride Canyon is the exit. That's your tip on this. I would hate you to get all the way up here, get to the exit, and then have to turn around and ride all the way back through all this crap because you can't get out. That exit is gnarly. Whew, rocks, rocks, rocks. Rocks, rocks, rocks. Oh, I hear cows. Where the f*** are you there? Jesus Christ. Couldn't see them. It's like a fucking amusement park ride. The creature's coming out from around the corner. There's the cow equivalent of Andy's coming. Alright, so right back there was the official beginning of Chloride Canyon, at least according to the waypoint. The ghost town is a mile up here. Where am I going? I'm going a little... Oh, hi dear. There's more. Oh, there's a bunch. Yeah, here's the ghost town. Doesn't seem like much of a ghost town though. There's people here. Chloride Bank Cafe. Chloride National Forest. I think that's a joke because it's one tree. Alright, I will probably kill the cameras until I get into Winston, because I think I'm going to be on pavement the whole way. So that was Chloride. That was a hell of a lot of fun and a even more amount of work.
A few moments later.
35 miles from Truth or Consequences. There was no reason to stop in Winston because there was nothing there. I'm not actually sure that the gas station was open. So we're going to continue into Truth or Consequences and have lunch there and see what the rest of the day looks like. Yeah, I think this road's going to be kind of like this most of the way. Is this a gate or is this a cattle guard? No, neither. It's a fence. And then leaving, God, washboard, jeez. Leaving Truth or Consequences to Redigio. Section 2 apparently has some very deep sand, supposedly. So, we'll see what that ends up looking like. Yeah, I've gone 133 miles since reserve. Haven't gone that far this morning just because chloride slowed me way down. I don't regret doing it, but if I was going the other direction, I wouldn't take it. That last climb out of the canyon is awful. I would, if I had friends with me, I would do it on this if I took the luggage off. Oh, and I think I'm gonna pop back out onto the pavement. Camera's going off again until either Truth or Consequences or until I pop onto dirt again. Elephant Butte. More than likely what I'll probably do is I'll stop in Elephant Butte. I'll just go through Truth or Consequences. I don't need to stop there, but we'll see. It just depends on if I have cell phone reception, because Elephant Butte has gas and food and all that, so.
A few inches later.
We'll say this is probably one of those roads you wouldn't want to be on if it was wet, because with the way it looks, it would just turn into goop. Well, now it says 91. I'm guessing it's getting some heat off of the motor, and so it's reading high. That's volcanic. Around the windmill and horse pen. Cow pen, I guess, actually, if we're being technical. It says 102, which is not correct, but it's definitely hot. Through the volcanic. Wee. God, don't come up on that, not expecting it. You would have a really bad day. Let's get moving. See if I can cool down a little bit. God, talk about just the middle of nowhere. I don't appear to be too far from where I pop out, because I know I pop out onto the highway and follow that for a while. Probably 10 or 15 miles from that. Alright, so I've gone 65 miles since Truth or Consequences. I have 135 miles to Redigio, which means I have under 100 miles to Carrizo. And the reason I'm pushing to Carrizo versus camping is there is nothing in between those two towns. It's 153 miles with no services. And I don't really want to just camp out here in the middle of the desert that much. Will I if I need to? Yeah. I'm not too worried about that, but I'd rather not. Oh boy, I gotta slow down and plow through this. Tumbleweed wall. Oh, there's sand. Yeah. You can tell it's deep when it starts slowing you down. Oh, that's deep sand too. Here we go. God. That's the deepest I've hit so far. That was like a snowdrift except sand. The wind's blown it all into a pile there. Oh, that's really bad. Is it better over here? Maybe a little bit. Come on. I can see the end of it. Short stuff like this, like, yeah, okay, fine. But I was in, I think, 5th for that. God, it's like washboard sand. That is a very strange combination. And here's a wash for sure. Bad. Yeah, there's that fire. I'll have to see if I can look that up online and see what it is. Yep, that's fun. Ugh. I know I'm not saying much. I'm tired right now. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've gone 85 miles since I got gas. I got another 73 to go. And this is just exhausting. Ugh. And I don't recall for sure, but I believe I'm on this for a while. So I definitely will be turning off the cameras. God damn, I can't even slow down enough to do a hand clap. I'll use that. I just wanted to show you what I'm dealing with. It's really windy. I passed the sign for the Trinity site about 2 or 3 miles back. Didn't stop to look at it, but the Trinity site is where the first nuclear weapon was tested. Over there a little ways. The area where the scientists weren't sure whether or not they might ignite the atmosphere or not. They really didn't know what was going to happen when they let that sucker off. And a part of me kind of wishes that it just hadn't worked. So I'm going to go back to wind sailing, and I will catch you under or in Grizo, whichever one is first. What? Wait. That was supposed to turn you off. I don't think I had either camera on for the dirt. Alright, well, I'm 12 miles from Grizo. Just came back onto the pavement. I was turning the cameras off, I thought. So I don't have any of that last section of dirt on video. I'm going to get into Grizo and find a spot to stay, and I will check in with you later. Alright, here's Grizo. We're going to the Four Winds, I think. Oh, God. Alright, I'm in Grizo, I think is how you say it. Got stuff exploded. Download all my footage. Working on charging stuff up. It's like a really nice hotel. It was 60 bucks. Already ate. I'm gonna take a shower here in a second and go to sleep. It was like 210 miles or something for today, which was good. Especially with the start in Chloride Canyon, because that took a long time to do. The goal tomorrow will probably be Weed, which is about 160-ish miles from here, something like that. And we'll see from there. I don't know. I was tired today. Today was long, but it was just it was a long day. The goal would be to finish not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, which would be the 11th. Yes. And then get to Bisbee, hang out there for a couple of days while I edit footage. That's the plan. I will see you tomorrow. Ooh, I am caffeinated. I had like a triple shot Starbucks, and yeah, I am ready to go. Alright, we're gonna go around the corner and get gas. See what today brings. Four Winds Motel and RV Park. Really nice rooms. I was shocked at how nice the rooms were. I think they like just opened or something. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it was great. This is Nogal. We just kind of came through it. It's a pretty small little town. just turned onto the dirt. We'll have to see where I get today. I mean, if I could get to Dell City or very near to Dell City today, that'd be great. I would stay there, head for Bisbee tomorrow. Oh, it's the, I got earplugs in, so I'm deaf as I was messaging you guys on the Facebook group.
What's your name?
Brady.
Oh, okay. Hey, mind if I take a picture?
Absolutely.
Do a big rider.
I'm recording too, so. How's your ride been going?
Fantastic, man.
Yeah. How's the little guys been doing?
Great. On this road, perfect.
Yeah. Where'd you come from this morning?
We just got...
So Redigio?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I stopped in Carrizo last night, and so you're about to pop out on pavement. You'll be pavement for 30 miles.
How was the stand?
There's one long stretch. You'll be going kind of downhill, but you can, I mean, it's straight. So if you just get up to 5th gear or whatever and power through it, you'll be fine. Other than that, there's short sections. You go through some volcanic stuff, so it's real sharp rocks, so take it easy. But other than that, it's just, you're in the middle of damn nowhere. Tell truth or consequences.
So up here, just watch out for suicide cows.
Yeah, that's been a problem on some of the other stuff too. Well, cool. Take it easy. What were your names?
Aiden? Jerry.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy your ride.
I'll find you on Facebook, because I'll do a big ride report I posted on Adventure Ride.
Yeah, and I do videos on my YouTube channel, so if you look up Meerkat ADV, it'll be on there eventually. It may be a while, but but yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man. Be safe, buddy.
Ride safe, take risks, don't die. Cool. But yeah, they started section 1 on the 8th. They did like side stuff too, so they weren't just doing the route. And so they started in Redigio this morning. And they said about the only thing to worry about from here to the end is suicide cows. Which sounds about right. Yeah, he's on a 310 GS, the other guy's on a 390 Adventure. Should be pretty good bikes for this stuff. They did say they're going to bypass Chloride Canyon. Can't really blame them. It wouldn't be fun. No trespassing, no hunting, no kidding. That was a really funny sign. Slow the hell down, enjoy your ride. Ooh. I don't know if that got torn down or if that burned. That burned. That all burned. Oh, that's really sad. Oh, this is No-Gall Canyon, yeah. So this is the recent fire. Crap. It looks like it came through fast because it didn't fully burn everything. It just kind of blew through, it looks like. But damn, it was very recent. So thankfully, it looked like a lot of the structures made it okay, but there were a couple of places where it definitely burned pretty badly. Like just right through a couple of those ranches. I really can't see anything. I am still highly caffeinated. The only little coffee things that they had at the convenience store were triple shots, so that's a bit more caffeine than I'm used to. Some pretty good switchbacks on this road. They're not difficult, they're tight. This is fun. I think what I'm going to do is save the drone until this afternoon, because I've run it in the morning basically every other time. And so what I think I'll do is wait until after lunch and run it then. Pretty up here, damn. Sorry you can't jam out to my tunes. I'll get a copyright strike. And no thank you. I want to keep my channel. I wish there was an easier way to use popular music in YouTube videos without fighting with copyrights and stuff. I mean, I get it, the artist has to make money too. I mean, this looks like Colorado, but we're in very southern New Mexico. We just happen to be up in the Guadalupe Mountains, and this is what it looks like. I like it though. It's gotta get so hot here in the summer though. Hopefully New Mexico can get some rains for their monsoon. They need it, Arizona needs it. Really the entire West needs as much moisture as it can get. It's just a show right now. Lake Powell's basically non-existent. Lake Mead is basically non-existent. You know, so much stuff is just dry. And the fire seasons are just getting worse and worse and worse. Alright, I think I pop out onto the hardball just briefly. Yep. Alright, I think I'm on hardball. God, that's supposed to be Bonita Lake. It's a stream. It's dry. Alright, I'm going to turn the cameras off because I'm going to be on this for a minute. And I will catch you on dirt again. Looks like Thin Blue Line Run or something like that. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's see if I can ask this guy. For what? Oh, sweet. Muscular dystrophy. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera back off. There's White Sands. Hence why it's called White Sands. I'm making great time, 253 miles to Dell City, and I wasn't really expecting it, but it seems like half of Section 1 is on paved roads. I very well may finish today, I don't know. But I will check back in with you once I actually go to dirt. I know I do here in a little ways, because I saw where I dip off the... yeah, here it is. So, I'll talk to you once I actually see some dirt. Alright, on dirt finally. Dragonfly. God, I was gonna be pissed if that didn't work. Alright, sorry. Head cam froze up, so didn't film anything through Cloudcroft, but I'm back on dirt for a little while. It's been a lot of paved road. Okay, back on the move. Sometimes the GoPro with the media mod does not appreciate being charged through the media mod and it freezes up. It just basically stops responding to commands until you pull the battery and put it back in. It's something all the GoPros do every once in a while, and it's probably the most annoying part of using GoPros, but they're otherwise pretty fantastic about everything else, so it's a trade-off. Alright, in-county maintenance, which means this may get interesting. Wow, that's a lot of gravel. Great. Thank you, New Mexico roads, for making my rear-facing footage worthless. Alright, whatever. Just get through it. And that's deep. I'm only 40 miles from Weed. And there is apparently no gas in Weed anymore. But I'm not worried about that. Oh God. Ugh. Ugh. It's just a washboard from one corner to the other. 77 degrees. That's really pretty. This is a hell of a climb. God, look at that. We're above 8,000 feet again, or the furthest south we've been all trip. Welcome to the Guadalupe Mountains. Whew. Okay, so yeah, topped out a little bit over 8,000 feet. Now we're heading down 25 miles from Weed, which is where I'll probably stop and have lunch. Alright, well, I'm gonna kill the cameras once I get on the pavement, and I will see you when I'm back on dirt. Steep, narrow, winding road, 3 miles. See how much fun this is. That's a big damn tree. Yeah, I wouldn't say narrow, but steep, definitely. It's just going like straight up the hill. It's not quite to the point of needing to drop the first. It is, it's steep. The road's actually in pretty damn good shape. 87, God, we're gonna go above 9,000 feet. Oh, it's nice and cool up here. It feels really nice. Is it down to 73? Yeah. This is super pretty up here. So this is 172 miles in from the start, so this would be a perfect place to camp your first day if you were setting off from Dell City. And this is in between Weed and Cloudcroft, up on the real high part. After this, you do descend quite a bit, and it'll be significantly warmer. 16 miles to Weed. This doesn't look like this on the map. This must have got washed out and they had to fix it. That's steep. Sorry. I ain't stopping on this, buddy. Wished I had met you at the bottom there. I would have said hi and seen what was going on, but not there. Good Lord. See, this stuff's fun. Quite a bit of fun. really looking forward to meeting the Moscow Moto people. I emailed back and forth with Ash in 2020 several times about potentially going and working for them, and it just never really worked out that way. But it'll be interesting to talk to them again and see what's going on. I really like them as a company. I'm not using much of their gear right now. That's not because I don't think it's good gear. I just have different needs than what most of their stuff provides. Like the Reckless 80 is great. I'm not sitting there saying they don't make good gear. They make excellent gear. They just have a different design philosophy. 3 miles to Weed. It's almost 3 o'clock. I'm 150 miles from the end. Alright, camera's going off until I'm somewhere else. It is 4 o'clock. I have 122 miles to go, and basically 4 hours until it gets dark to do it in. And they did have gas in Weed. The Weed store, oh god, did have gas. I am full. Was able to get some cold drinks, and I am good to go all the way to Dell City. And I would expect it's only going to get hotter as I get closer to Dell City. Texas to Mexico border, 116 miles. As far as I'm concerned, that's the official end of the New Mexico BDR, because at that point I'm no longer in New Mexico. But yeah, pulled into the weed store, and I was like, you know, I've been led to believe that you're out of gas. She's like, oh no, we've got gas. They even had ethanol-free gas. When you're on BDRs, you do not pass up the opportunity to get gas. That's just a bad idea. And it's only been 32 miles. I've only got 120 left and a 250 mile plus range. So I don't got to worry about gas for the rest of the BDR. Alright, and not sure if Droney is going to end up being a thing. It depends on wind and all that stuff. But yeah, welcome to the Guadalupe Mountains. I'm at what, 6,000 feet? Yeah, a couple of days off sounds real good. My back is sore. My hands are sore. Be good to take a break and just edit footage for a couple of days. Rocky Road, the official ice cream of New Mexico and Arizona. It's what, 4:45, and I have exactly 100 miles left. It doesn't actually matter if I finish in the dark. I just prefer not to ride off-road in the dark. 3 miles to Guadalupe Rim. So I get the feeling this is kind of like Chloride Canyon, where I'm already there. It's just marking the, like, entrance-ish. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pop around this corner and should have a heck of a view. God, wow. Up to somewhere where I can pause for a second. Oh god, that wind is really going. Wow. Wow. Ugh. Can't really look that much because I'm trying not to ride off the road. But that is impressive. I will say now I am not planning on filming much, if at all, tomorrow, because I'm basically just going to be on the highway getting to Bisbee. The next video I do will probably be stuff at the Moscow Moto meetup and then the start of the Arizona BDR. If you've liked this series of videos, please give me a like and a subscribe. Consider supporting me on Patreon or Ko-fi. It really helps me out, and it lets me continue to provide this kind of stuff. If you didn't like it, go watch somebody else. I mean, if you didn't like it, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments, so. Nope. I'm not getting a pinch flat this late. Got a bug on me. Ugh, you get out of my helmet. Only one allowed in the helmet at a time. So you gotta leave. It is what? Not quite 6 o'clock. So I still got more than 2 hours of daylight left. And we're gonna use it. Oh, my feet are sore. I've already done 210 miles, I think was what my Garmin said. So it'll be very close to a 300-mile day. Yep, so I'm about to where I actually hook back north for a period of time, because this road basically goes along the Guadalupe mountain range, and there's no road that goes, you know, down towards town. So what I do is go down here to the end and come back north slightly as I drop off of the mountains. Alright, big old gate here. Cattle relocation facility. Oh god, this bike is so good. My camera mount, on the other hand, is leaving a lot to be desired. Oh, this might be the pavement up here in a minute. Oh, I see cars. I think it is pavement. The Queen Highway. So that goes to a dead end, and I need this. Oh, we go to dirt again. Okay. God, of course the last 30 miles is just gonna be washboard as hell. Because why else would it exist? Alright, I am less than a gallon of gas from the finish. Thank God. It's not quite a sunset yet. Give it another hour. Sorry if you can't see much. I'm using my peak visor to block the sun. Believe me, I can't see a whole lot more than you probably can right now. God, back to nostril cam. There you can see where I went through for the last several hours. Right on the top of there. To be honest, I don't know that I can think of a better way to finish the New Mexico BDR though. Riding literally off into the sunset. It's been a lot of fun. Cow. You're gonna spook when I'm 2 feet away from you. Real useful survival mechanism. I could have walked up and put a 22 against your head. Move, jackrabbits. Move. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm just trying to get over here. It is also still almost 90 degrees. Oh God. Okay. I'm not gonna fall now. That was a surprise. do you see how much my headlight is strobing around? And it'd be twice as bad if I didn't have the headlight brace on there. 10 miles to the border. Hi, Jackrabbit. I guess you were just a regular bunny, weren't you? Tried to turn the brightness down, but apparently in the map function, that is the lowest brightness. That might be a note to send to them of, can you make a dark mode for the map? Alright, I can see Dell City, at least the lights of it. I'm definitely going to reach it in full dark. So apologize for the quality of the footage, but I've had a long day. That's going to be 310 miles or something of off-road. I'll take how to make sure you really truly dislike a place for 500, Alex. Make the last 100 miles of the route boring washboard roads. Here comes the border. And I'm not going to be stopping and taking a picture at the border because you ain't going to be able to see anyway.
Tomorrow for sure.
Welcome to El Paso. I'm in a Motel 6. Just woke up. It's about 8 o'clock. You're not gonna believe this, but literally as I crossed the border into Texas, I think I was saying like, and there's the border with Texas. Beep, beep, memory card full. Both cameras dead. So, New Mexico BDR done. Did find out that Dell City, Texas has no services after dark. And so I ended up having another hour-long ride to get to the closest motel, which is here in El Paso. So that was not fun. I'm awake, I'm alive, and I'm working on packing this up and loading the bike up and getting over to Bisbee. It's about 200 something miles, so I'm gonna leave here, get gas, and then yeah, head for Bisbee. Probably not gonna film pretty much anything on the trail, on the road. So I will see you in Bisbee.